We are basically, essentially, a 24/7 live data collection and continuous auditing system through our Big Brother Next Edition network and its underlying ecosystems. So, with this tour, we hope to be able to better explain to people the details on what it is that we do for our clients and how we go about doing it. So, yeah, please come and join me inside. All right, so welcome. This is the control room. This is the central hub of all our operations here in the Big Brother network, and most specifically here in Bali. So what we have here in behind me is a monitor wall showing a 24/7 live feed of all control points within our client's entire combined supply chain. So at this moment, this consists of a little over 340 cameras. Now, what we do here is essentially mostly is animal movement tracking, which is leading up to an animal welfare perspective. So the visual interface here in the control room is one of the key points in the animal movement tracking itself, as it allows us to verify the data being collected automatically by the system. As this entire visual interface is one of the key points that is backed by a significant amount of technologies, both commercial and proprietary or built in-house, just to ensure that the tracking of animal movement itself is being done with a minimal, or in most cases, zero human intervention required. Now, the control room itself is separated into several different operational divisions, all with its own set of responsibilities. We have the control room operators, we have the tech support team, we have the supervisors, the managers, the engineers, and the developers. They're all working together to ensure that the data we collect is being done in an optimal way, which results in something that is accurate, verifiable, and completely defendable. Now, the people here in the front are our control room operators. They are a constant 24/7 presence in the complex, basically, in this compound. In the control room, they are working in multiple shifts. So we always have a constant surveillance over all of the visual interfaces. Now, in terms of animal traceability, they are equipped with several purpose-built software and hardware devices, which ensures that they have the ability to do an accurate animal reporting, both for the movement and any animal welfare violations. Now, obviously, right now, this is during the morning. It's entirely daytime. And the Asian meat industry is primarily a nocturnal activity. So, but we are going to show you an example of how we monitor and what sort of data that it is that we collect through an example of an earlier movement. Right, so this is a simple example of what we observe. This is a departure or loadout, what we classified it as, from a Vietnamese feedlot. The operator in the front reacts to these movement, and the event is automatically logged into the central movement database that notes, aside from the location, also the time and the operator ID who witnessed the event. Now, this is very important, as here is the abattoir. The arrival will also need to be seen and witnessed by the same control room staff or whoever that has been handed over to. So the system will pair these two events together to mark them as a successful animal transfer movement. Please take note that we also have the country staff supervising and additionally confirming the movements, as every time there is an activity logged into the system, everything gets broadcasted automatically into all control room, ground, and supervisory staff over an instant messaging platform. Here's another point of interest, which is how the system also predicts and estimate the amount of time needed for the animal transfer between facilities. Yes, it's like, yes, yep. So this is the map routing, which helps the control room people to make sure that they know how much time is required, and they know if any delay or trouble may have occurred during the transfer time, and can immediately contact the ground and country staff for further assistance or escalation to the clients. Now, during the night, the operators also function as an animal welfare officer. They monitor and analyze the way the animals are processed to ensure that they are treated in accordance to the SCAS procedures. These animal processing events are also logged in the system to close out the animal's lifetime. They are linked together through the animal individual identification tags, which are registered in the system through the exporter's packing list prior to departure from Australia. Now, every single animal that went through the control points on any of our client supply chains are immediately identified through these live stream monitors, as we call them. Now, these monitors automatically correlates, identifies, verifies, and analyze the animals to keep the operators to help the operators react in the event of a breach or animal welfare violation. This one being highlighted is the actual animal that was in the previous video. It was the one that was loaded into the abattoir, and killed the following evening. So we have the data flowing continuously as our devices kept on reading and identifying every single animal that went through every single checkpoint. Now, the live stream data itself originates from a combined stream of equipment. Many of them are actually designed and built in-house. Now, many years ago, SCAS and the 6-point plan requires exporters to start taking control of their traceability and animal welfare, basically through cameras and continuous real-time monitoring. That was the mandate. However, our system, we have evolved from the use of handheld scanners, such as these Datamars, these old conventional devices and handheld devices, to the use of static antennas and static cameras to ensure that we can maintain the stability, integrity, and the accuracy of all data collected through the entire network, as they would require no human interference. The use of static devices has also helped us to make it possible to ensure that they are always on site. They will never be left at home or forgotten to be charged or require extensive retraining in the event of staff turnover, or when we need to add a new functionality into the system, which we do add over time. We have continuously improved the functionalities of the system, and including the hardware over time, as we have complete control of all the hardware, the software, the firmware, the system architecture, since we do build every single part of these in-house, and we do not have to rely on third-party manufacturers to do the improvements for us. Now, the system, I have to also note that while they are working in conjunction with the control room, they are in no way tethered or reliant on the control room itself. These devices that we deploy are designed to be completely independent, and they require no user input or on-site interference. A built-in self-checking mechanism runs continuously in the background of all these processors, and in the event of a possible disruption, all diagnostic data are immediately automatically collected and sent over to the tech support staff. Now, the tech support desk works hand in hand with the ground staff for installation, maintenance, and upgrades should they be needed. Now, they look at diagnostic data from all deployed devices and perform analysis on what needs upgrading. Mostly the issues involve third-party infrastructure issues, such as having the internet or the cellular connection dropped off. Now, here's an example of a device reporting that for a short period of time, the internet connection dropped off. Now, as a result, the live video would not have been available on the monitoring wall. However, the device does say that it was fully independently operational at the time. So what we have here is that by checking on the fail-safe routines running on the system, we would see that the videos, while they were not streamed during the time, snapshots are available for the control room supervisors to view and analyze. Now, we have deployed tens of variation of the system, all tailored to fit every single location. The Australian live export industry is a vast landscape. It covers thousands of facilities, and it covers thousands of facilities in multiple countries and multiple continents. These facilities were built with their own operational procedures and customs that reflects their own country, their own market, their own environment. And they were there before we started, and they will be here for years to come. The approach we have taken, that we have decided to deploy, is the creation of a complete system filled with modular little devices that can be combined to fit into their operating procedures with minimum interference. That's the key here. The goal is to be able to monitor and provide incremental improvements along with our clients without these facilities feeling invaded or patronized. These are, after all, completely independent facilities in completely sovereign nations. To achieve that, it's us that has to be flexible. We have to remain flexible and tailor-make our devices and our procedures to fit the facilities instead of forcing them to fit into ours. Now, as a result, we now have thousands of independently running software and hardware procedures running continuously and concurrently together in the background within our hundreds of devices and over 20 servers in 6 countries. All of them are monitored through these guys in the back. We have also developed a custom monitoring platform just to ensure that we have the ability to monitor and control every single part of the system, from the smallest device being deployed down in the jungles of Vietnam to the servers that are placed in Korea, in Singapore, and its surrounding area. Now, all of that is to ensure that we have control over the speed, stability, and efficiency. And as a bonus, it also allows us to control the entire thing using a smaller, tighter team here, as opposed to the hundreds of extra personnel it would normally require in an operation of this size. We do have a server room on site here. This is one of the countries we have a server room in with machines that do our number crunching. But we have backup servers in other countries as well, just to ensure that all data are always collected and analyzed automatically through the system. And the rest of those are remotely controllable by a secure connection through these workstations in the back. We are fully committed in our engineering approach to constantly review and improve and rebuild the system if needed. The technology constantly changes, and what is usable now may not be completely appropriate in next month, for example. And as a company that is reliant on technology, we have to be able to be flexible. We have to make sure that we continuously improve along with the times. Now, the thing is, the traceability function, while being an operational necessity, was always made to ensure a better animal welfare outcome. So it's not about the traceability per se. The whole SCAS and the 6-point plan was to ensure that animal welfare quality is improving every single time. Now, by integrating Seesaw and its notice board system, our control room operators can do what humans do best, basically, which is in leaving the automation or automated tasks and repetitive tasks to the machines and providing the sort of insight that only humans can do. They monitor for any impropriety and animal welfare violations and quickly link the incident into the Seesaw notice board to be broadcasted to all its members, thus ensuring a quick action and response to rectify the situation. Now, Seesaw itself is its own entity, and it's a larger topic, which is probably be better explained by all its own members and boards and directors.